Hi everyone, this is Shane R. Monroe, and today we're going to be looking at the Mamut grips, both the original Mamut grips and the Mamut DX grips as they apply and how they work on the Quest 2 controllers. Now I've already done videos about the Quest 1 controllers and both of these types of grips, but how do they work on the Quest 2? Can you buy them? Do they fit? What sort of nonsense may you have to deal with in using these? I'm going to show you all of that and more. So stick around. Let's start off with the Quest 1 controller using the original Mamut grips. So these are, as they call them, knuckle grips. So they reach around your knuckle, they hold your hand in the controller in place no matter what. I mean, you can take this off, they will slide. There's a tension down here. You can tighten them up. And so now if I have no fingers on, it's not coming off. Great for Beat Saber, great for a whole bunch of games that you don't want to have to sit here and have some sort of a death grip on this controller the whole time. This is constructed by a simple type of a shoelace with a tension release here that you can slide it and open it up more. And of course, the grip itself is a standard rubberized type grip. There's stuff on there, that's gross. It's textured to keep a tight grip on it, and these don't slide off super easy, even if there's not a lot of tension in here. So you can loosen this up, and I can slide this guy off, and you can see the grip itself. It's nothing extraordinary, but it's very, very comfortable and it works very, very well. And on the Quest 1, it keeps the battery cover from sliding all over the place while you're playing Beat Saber. So it's a relatively simplex design, and this is it on the Quest 1, and we're going to take this off and put it on the Quest 2 in a minute. But let's first go over to the Mamut DX. This is the Mamut DX. This is the new deluxe one that came out a few months back. And this one you can see is similar in design with a knuckle strap type design. In this case, though, we have this overlay. We're going to talk about that in a minute. There's still a shoestring in there, but it's covered now with a Velcro cover, which is very, very comfortable. It's padded, it feels great, and it lets you have a place to tuck these little ends in so they're not whipping around all over the place. All right, so then you can cover that up, and now you've got a very nice, very, very comfortable grip for long-term play. The purpose of this is for those of you with these big monster hands like mine. This allows this string mechanism to extend out past your hand so it's not pinching. If you were to look at this guy, and I tightened it up to where I felt comfortable letting my guard down with it, or loosening my fingers, this guy pinches all the way up to the top. So some people find this pinching uncomfortable. Some people find this thing laying against your thumb uncomfortable. What I did notice with the Mamut DX2 is that over time, you'll eventually start learning to shift your hand down towards the bottom of the controller, which causes this to wrap over the top better. If you have your hand deep into the controller like this, right, obviously it's going to pinch in a nerve in there and be probably pretty uncomfortable. I let it ride a little bit higher, and it tends to walk right over the way it should. And I personally like that. My cameraman, son, and fellow VR player doesn't care for this design as much, so your mileage may vary. So again, it's fairly simple in terms of how these things operate, and this again, I'm going to take this cover off. Again, we just have a release here. You can also see that there's now a ridge here to keep you from accidentally pushing down on it if you're laying your hands down on a table. This will no longer accidentally push in, so they made a little adjustment there, which is nice. They're still rubberized, they're still textured, and instead of wrapping around the ring, and I think this is a big improvement. I think this is a big improvement to the design, to be honest with you. Instead of having these cords wrap around the ring and put stress and pull the rings, it actually takes all of that pulling weight and adjusts it here. Now, you do, as your hands are pulling on it, there is pull here, which then pulls around this strap. But I guarantee you there's a lot less pull going on than with this design. I think this design is definitely the superior of the two. It's definitely more comfortable. And it does, as you can see, it does fit on the controller for the Quest 2. But there is a little bit of caveat here, and I'd like to go over that. So these, take this off. So first off, these, as you put them on, these pop right off. I mean, there's not a lot of stickiness. I mean, you can see I got this. I mean, this is really easy to pull off. And you're thinking, well, who cares? It's attached up here, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. Meanwhile, these guys, this one, when you're attached to the Well, I guess this one comes off pretty easy too. We'll try it with the 2 as well. But if for some reason you lose this connection up here with your Velcro straps, this becomes a projectile. And the only reason I can tell you that is because I've had it happen already. Fortunately, my controller was not damaged. But those of you who are playing crazy Echo VR and slamming your hand towards the television, this becomes a projectile, and you now have missile hazards in your living room. So because of that, I've taken an additional piece of Velcro, just a little tiny extra piece of Velcro to extend the length of this, and I'll show you exactly why. So if you buy these Mamut DXs for your Quest 2, here is what you're going to have. So as you can see, there's very little overlap of the Velcro. And quite frankly, a good downward stroke or outward stroke on Beat Saber, and this can pull right off. And it's like, oops. And now you have a projectile weapon. Instead, you just take a little piece of Velcro to extend the length of it. Put that back underneath. And now you have what was originally intended on the Quest 1, which is a full-blown Velcro thing. And that's not going anywhere. So that's the one concession about the Mamut DXs, is to use that extra piece of Velcro so this doesn't become a missile hazard in your living room. So if you're looking to get a bargain or pick up a used set of these Mamut grips, how did the Mamut 1 grips, or the original Mamut grips, work on the Quest 2? Let's find out. And I'll be honest with you, I've never put these on. I've kept them on my Quest 1, so this will be educational for me as well. So it fits on okay. Same bit here. Move them around. Snug. Again, I apologize, there's white crap on my controller. There we go. Feed it through. Tighten them down a little bit. Okay, so now we have the original ones on here. I'm going to put this on. Put my hand down there. I'll tighten them up. Or maybe I won't. It's hard to do this one-handed. Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay, so now you can see we have the similar design from the 1. And again, I want to point out that this is putting all of this pull and all of this tension on the ring. Now, these rings, if you'll notice, this is a little bonus for those of you coming from Quest 1 and thinking about a Quest 2. We all know that these rings are a little on the more fragile side. And one of the reasons is because there's a far more, if you look at this guy, there's a far more amount of I don't know, unreinforced ring here. If you look at the Quest 2, you'll notice that the reinforced ring has, the space of the non-reinforced ring has been reduced. So if you were to look at these guys side by side, you can tell, and I can just turn it this way, you can tell here, you can see the controller base stops here, it extends up here on this guy. So these rings should be stronger than these rings. And the only reason I bring that up is because you are going to have that undue extra stress on the ring, but it is close to the base, so you're probably okay. So for me, I find this less, I feel less safe with this on. And the only reason I say that is because there's a lot of play in here. And even if I were to tighten it down, my hand still has a lot of room to move around. I like the wrap over design that keeps my hand down on the controller lower, and I find it more comfortable. But I mean, these would do. I mean, listen, it's far better than having nothing at all. But if I had my choice, if I were to recommend, hey, would you recommend Mamut grips for the Quest 2? The answer is absolutely yes. Which ones would I recommend? The originals, they work, they fit, they're comfortable enough. But if you want the best possible thing, I like the wrap over hand design. I would definitely recommend going with the DXs. They're more expensive, and I know you can't get them for 2-day shipping on Amazon, which is why people end up going with cheaper ones, to be honest with you. People, I think, would rather pay for quality. They just don't want to wait for it. And listen, I totally get that. But I definitely recommend the extra piece of Velcro in here. Probably have Velcro laying around your house somewhere, so it's not a big deal. And then I do like the quality of life improvements that were made on this next generation. I do like the fact that my ring isn't being pulled down by this. I do like that this grips my hand like almost like a pincher here. It's a grip. I feel more safe and secure with that. And I love the idea. I love the comfort mod here with being able to wrap this thing around with a piece of nice padding that gets those strings out of the way. You guys know what I'm talking about with Beat Saber, man. You get nuts with those straps and they whip you. They whip your hair back and forth, right? Fortunately, I'm getting it stuck in here. You only have to do this once, so you can do it right, and then you're done with it. All right, there we go. Now I am comfortable and ready for Beat Saber. So, anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed looking at the Mamut grips, including the DX version on the Quest 2. Obviously, they're a fantastic fit for your Quest 1 as well. But if you're looking for, in my personal opinion, probably the best, highest quality, most optimistic or optimized grip for your Quest 2, I would say the Mamut DX is it. If you can afford it and you're willing to wait, I think it's worth waiting for. I'm Shane R. Monroe, and thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit the little bell to get notifications when new videos come out, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.